I'm Paul Torkelson. I live and farm on a farm in Watonwan County near St. James, Minnesota, and I'm now serving my third term here in the Minnesota House of Representatives. My leadership story really starts back when I was a 4-H member in Nelson Township, a member of the Nelson Wide Awake 4-H Club, and one of the projects I had was a leadership project. So I've been interested in leadership really all my life. I was very active in my communities, and then as I got more involved with agricultural policy and the local county farm bureau, I ran for the Minnesota Farm Bureau State Board of Directors, was elected to a chair on the board, and then eventually elected to be the state vice president of Minnesota Farm Bureau. When my predecessor, Brad Finstad, decided to retire from his seat in the Minnesota House, he called me and asked me if I would consider running for office. I contemplated that with my family and my wife, and I had thought about running but wasn't too serious about it until actually being asked. And after wrestling with that, decided running was a good idea, jumped into the race and managed to get elected. At that point in time, I was also a participant in the Marl program. It was a great experience for me. The program is really designed for people that already have some leadership experience. So the idea of the program is that you build on the leadership experience you already have. Try and take us to a new level of better understanding of both of ourselves and of how leadership works and what style of leadership may work best for us as individuals. For me personally, that ended up being teaching myself about the sort of person I am in respect to being an introvert and extrovert. I happen to be an introvert. What I didn't understand before the program, but I understand now, is how important it is for me as an introvert to take some time after doing a lot of public work, some time to recharge my batteries. I learned that energy is drained away from me when I'm working in the public, whereas an extrovert kind of gains energy from the public. I give up energy, so I have to recharge my batteries. Learning that was really extremely beneficial for me, and it continues to be an important thing for me to recognize in my personal life. Well, the first thing I'd start with is that Greater Minnesota is a great place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. I think it has a lot to offer. The opportunities are vast to take part, to get to know your neighbors, to get to know the families, and to understand your community and really have an impact on those around you. As you go from community to community, you see different examples of how these communities are operating. Some of them are thriving and doing very well, dependent on who in the community has decided to be active in the community. And I see the value of local participation, whether it's a city council or other local organizations that help some of these communities really retain their identity and thrive, whereas other communities really struggle if there's no leadership stepping forward to really kind of gather the energy of the community and promote that community. It's really a challenge, especially in Greater Minnesota right now. I'm happy that some of my communities are thriving.